Now we talk about the Odisha, the Balasore tragedy, because several questions that are now being raised. Was it an accident or was it sabotage? That is a question that is now running on everyone's minds here, because the people are yet to recover from the shock as the latest numbers that have now been updated of 288 innocent lives that have been lost in this tragedy.
Right, and as far as the investigation is concerned, the CBI, India's premier investigating agency, has now been tasked with finding answers to these questions. But as the CBI has formally taken over the investigation, opposition is up in arms. They are tearing into the government.
So the same political parties who were earlier demanding the railway minister's resignations today are now questioning the transfer of the probe to the CBI. They believe that the agency is not equipped enough to handle such a case in such a scenario.
In fact, as far as the TMC is concerned, they've also released an audio tape which they claim that there is something fishy, and more than that meets the eye. But today they are amongst the leading voices against the CBI investigation. Mamata Banerjee, remember, is likely to meet the victims today. Meanwhile, Shukanto Majumdar of the BJP has levelled a sensational charge. He says the TMC is distributing cash compensation in 2,000 rupee notes to the victims.
CBI do the criminal things, but it's the accident things. This is Railway Safety Commission is there. They have to do it fast. We want that people should know the truth. It is not a time to suppress the truth.
क्या अब CBI ढूंढेगी कि मरम्मत और नए ट्रैक के बजट को 2018-19 से घटाकर के बजट को घटाकर 2020 तक 7,400 करोड़ का क्यों कर दिया गया? क्या सीबीआई ये ढूंढेगी कि जब रेलवे चिंतन शिविर हुआ तो हर जोन को सुरक्षा पर बोलना था, सबको चुप करके क्यों बैठा दिया गया और एक ही जोन को बोलने की इजाजत क्यों दी गई? और क्या सीबीआई ये ढूंढेगी कि उस चिंतन शिविर में सिर्फ वंदे भारत और कितना रेवेन्यू रेलवे से निकल सकता है पर चिंता क्यों हो रही थी? सुरक्षा की बात क्यों नहीं हो रही थी?
How come CBI guys are expert in rail matters? What is there in it? And by the time people will feel, will forget. So what's wrong it? What Mamata ji said, that are they expert? They are to examine the criminal angles, not that technical.
However, it becomes all the more important to understand that why in the first place the investigation has been handed over to the CBI, while the accident deaths also has put across a dent to the railways and also to the image under the NDA. It is also giving a lot of credence to the questions that have also been raised despite heavy spending on the infrastructure.
However, experts also suggest that the interlocking system could only be tampered by someone who is well versed with the system, meaning the person who was involved could very well have been an insider.
So it's all the more important to understand the intention behind the tampering with all of the system, if at all it was done, and what changes in the settings of the point machine as well that actually led to such a deadly accident.
Right, and while so much lies on the course of the investigation, the police is continuing, or rather politics is continuing to escalate. The BJP is now saying that the TMC might be scared of a CBI probe as they probably, quote-unquote, tapped into the phones of railway officials, which is why they got access to the audio tapes which they had released to begin with.
So the BJP is also saying that when it comes to the bereaved families that are being now called to Kolkata, where Mamata Banerjee met them, but only to listen to her speech and being handed out compensation, and that too in cash.
বলতে চাই এখানে যে আগামী কাল নেতাজি ইন্ডোর স্টেডিয়ামে আহত এবং নিহত পরিবারের লোকদেরকে এনে জোর করে চেক দিচ্ছে এবং চেকগুলো ইস্যু হচ্ছে কনসার্নিং বিডিও অফিসে ডিস্ট্রিবিউট না করে তাদের সাধ্য শান্তি কমপ্লিট হয়নি, তাদেরকে ডিএম পুলিশরা জোর করে এনে মুখ্যমন্ত্রী এখানে ভাষণ দেবেন হ্যান্ড মাইক হাতে নিয়ে, এ প্রান্ত থেকে ও প্রান্ত হেঁটে হেঁটে ভাষণ দেবেন, কেন্দ্রীয় সরকারকে বিজেপিকে মোদিজিকে গালাগালি করবেন, অশ্বিনীজিকে গালাগালি করবেন, এপাং ওপাং ঝপাং করবেন, আর সেগুলোর জন্য এই শোকাতুর পরিবারগুলোকে তাদেরকে আসতে হবে কলকাতায়। এটা অত্যন্ত লজ্জাজনক, দুঃখজনক এবং নিন্দনীয়।
All right, my colleague Adrija is also live with us. Adrija, you know, on one hand, of course, you have the restoration process. The Coromandel Express is likely to resume operations today. Unfortunately, on the other, we also have politics, which is escalating over this terrible train tragedy which hit our nation. As the country is grieving, politicians are bickering with each other. A very sensational allegation has been levelled by the BJP Shukanto Majumdar, who says TMC is distributing cash compensation to victims. Give us all the details, first of all, over the BJP's allegations.
Well, yes, so BJP today is, have two allegations against the TMC and playing safe. First of all, Shikanta Majumdar stating that today the program organized by Mamata Banerjee, where she has asked the victim's family to come over so that she can offer her compensation that the state government has declared. That is at least 5 lakhs, per family, for the people who have lost their loved ones in the train tragedy. And also, Shikanta Majumdar has stated that 2,000 rupees notes will be used to play out cash compensation in this matter. And therefore, politics definitely, playing out at large. Also, we saw after the CSP, Shubhendra Adhikari have also claimed that there must be some hand of the TMC leaders behind this, because how did they get access to an audio clip which was a conversation between two railway officials?
Right.
So of course politics playing out at its best, because the TMC is playing the opposition party here, asking for resignation, also stating that the proper investigation should be done, answers should be questions should be answered, because giving the case up to CBI is not a solution. And at the same time, BJP definitely hitting back at Banerjee, stating that the TMC is conspiring and not forcing the victims to come today.
All right. So even as the investigation is on, CBI teams reaching there, filing their FIRs, and we are looking at already questions how they are already being raised by the opposition side, in particular the TMC, saying that this is a case of accident. And when it comes to criminal investigation, why is the CBI now being brought in? Thank you very much for the moment, Adrija, for joining in. With that, we head into a short break. You're watching Times Now.